Hey everybody, welcome to part 2 of the Caldor MTD. In this episode, we're going to focus on the carburetor, right? So it's from 1988. So this is a much older version of the sort of Briggs Stratton 8 horsepower, both horizontal and vertical shafts share a similar carburetor. I have the same carburetor on my Jacobsen Homelight. I really like these carburetors, but it's time to rebuild the carburetor, so let's take a look at it. So again, this video focuses on the carburetor, so for those of you looking for just to kind of see what's inside or how to rebuild one of these carburetors, right? And it's on an 80s vintage Briggs Stratton 8 horsepower engine. I love these carburetors. They're excellent carburetors. They're infinitely adjustable. They're really, really well made, but this one definitely needs to be cleaned. So those of you that are interested in just the carburetor and want to, know how maybe you have one of these things on an older machine, it's time to go through it. We're going to go through it. We're going to make it fresh again. But this is also the second part in the series of the 1988 Caldor MTD tractor, right? So stay tuned. And again, I remembered everybody. There is a winner in the giveaway. Anyway, we'll be back. All right, stay tuned. Stay tuned, everybody. Remember, stay tuned. Somewhere in this video, I'm going to announce the winner to the Super Clean Challenge. Remember? Right? You guys remember? Right? We're cleaning this and everything. All right. See you guys in a bit. All right. So it's pretty nasty. I'm just going to do my usual. Before we open it up, let's get it clean. So I'm going to wipe this thing down and brush it off, and we'll get it a little bit cleaner, and then we'll come back, we'll take a look and see, open it up and see. Now it's probably not that bad, right? This thing doesn't seem to be in bad shape at all. So let me work this out. We'll blow it off, and then we'll crank it open, and we'll get it all apart, and we'll clean all of the nooks and crannies, and before the end of the day, because it's getting late, but I'd like to at least, maybe we could run it. All right, we'll get a fuel system on it. I'll be back. All right, so I just blew it off with a little bit of compressed air. Let's see what we have, right? First, let's see what we have. Now let's turn it in and just get a feel for what's going on. So, that's tight, and that's barely out. Okay, so that is definitely not a good adjustment. Should be a little washer here. All right, that's pretty gacky. Should be a little washer here. I was going to pick at it with the point, but that's not a good idea. Okay, a little washer. And it should be a little seal. And if you want, use a green stick, because let me get one. It's a pick. It's plastic. Because we don't want to damage anything. May not want to come out, so yeah, might want to let it loosen up a little bit with some solvent. We'll use like 2-cycle gas or something on that. You don't want to use gum out or brake cleaner on these. WD-40 works good for stuff like that. So we got our washer. Okay, oh, it's pretty gacked in there. I could see it. If I turn the light on, you'll see it, but it'll be really full of glare. Oh my. It looks like somebody tried to wipe that out. That's nasty. All right, but that's good though, okay? This is varnish, and it's not rust. So it's gross varnish. Now we can hit this with some lacquer thinner after we get some of the parts off of it. We're probably going to have to just give it another wash with something. Yeah, that's going to be stuck on there. Yeah, all right, so that's, and that will leave for now. How's this seal? Can we get this seal up so we don't destroy it? Yeah, we might be able to. I don't think there is no seal in here, as far as I can tell. It's just gook. Let's not push our luck, though, on that. See, there's a sintered bronze vent there. All right, let's try this one. 1, 2. So it's in about 3 turns. We'll probably set everything to about 2 turns. It's not too bad. Why does that look like that's been jammed in there? Oh my. Okay. We're going to have to let that sit in some lacquer thinner. So we got to get a bit of lacquer thinner in on this. I mean, we may not want to force this out if it doesn't come out. Yeah, we're not gonna force that out. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get some lacquer thinner on this business here. So let me start putting some on. You can also just start off with a little bit of gum out. Berkebile is really good, but let's just get it started. Not quite as good as lacquer thinner. Let me get the lacquer thinner and a brush. Look at that, it's just coming right off. But it's gonna need to sit, so I'm gonna eat dinner and, oh, it's chunky in here. I'll eat dinner. I'll let it soak, I'll brush it. To get this off here, it's going to take a little while. It's a lot of varnish. There's no other way to do it other than something that removes varnish. Sticking in an ultrasound or something like that is not going to. A sonic machine is not going to do it. You need something that can eat varnish. So carburetor cleaner. The one that comes in the big container, I need to get some of that. You would just immerse this in there and then leave it sit for a while and come back, and that would be your best bet. But this might get it clean enough. Doing something. All right, I'm gonna work this for a little bit, guys. We'll be back.
1 hour later.
It's almost done. I'm using a combination of, base, right? So I started off, this is a base. I just put this on here. That's super clean, right? And these were done too. These are pretty bad. And now they're in a little bit of Lumibrite. I'm gonna let them sit. Then we're gonna just wipe them a little bit with a Scotch-Brite in a bit. Finish up. This is done, right? And this got, of course, lacquer thinner, degreaser, then the base, which is, again, super clean, and then a little bit of Lumibrite, and everything's been washed. I rinsed it with the hose because it was pretty bad, blew it with the air, and this came pretty clean. I didn't get too crazy with this because these are like steel cups with an anodized or an alidine finish, so we don't want to make it worse, but I did go in there with a little bit of Scotch-Brite, smooth it out a little bit, and it's the bowl, so there's no rust. It's actually probably better that you leave some varnish on it. All right, let that sit. We'll be back. I'm going to hit these with Scotch-Brite in a little bit, and then I'm going to dip this in some acid. Yeah, that looks good. That's really getting off. The lacquer thinner got off most of it, but the heavy base, even better than what the super clean would be, oven cleaner or liquid plumber. It's even stronger. All right, let's just clean these up real quick, and that way I can stop. But we do need to dunk them in water at some point. I'm just gonna grab a little bit. Yeah, I just got a container. So they're pretty clean just from sitting in there. I mean, these were bad. And, you know, you could just use the Scotch-Brite, but you won't get to the inside, and it'll never be as bright as this. Look at that. That just wiped right off. That's it. Now, can we poke something in there? Yeah. Just to make sure, because it might have some gack in there. And poke through these little guys if I have something to fit in there. And I might just poke them through tomorrow, but yeah, these are fine. Yeah, I'm gonna have to poke through that tomorrow, but and I'm gonna blow them as well. I'm gonna blow them with some gum out. Let's see. This is pretty fine. Just to make sure. This is the Emulsion Tube. Oh, that went in there. Yeah, there's nothing jammed in here. That's a smaller one, I think. Oh, I got it. Yeah, we're good. All right, we just got to remember to blow that out tomorrow. This one was really bad and chunky when I got it out. Look at that. Just a quick, you know, polish. All right, and a poke. And let's see, can we just shove something in there? Yep. That's good. That's perfect. I'll assemble it tomorrow because I'm shot. I want to be able to do a good job, make sure I don't miss anything. We want to put it on the engine properly. I don't want to be rushing. And I want to have full power energy. But I can't leave these sit overnight. That looks perfect. By just rinsing them, they'll stop reacting. This doesn't really need to be that clean, but it looks a lot better. That's good. There's no grossness on it. Oh, wow. Look at that. Tell me that's not better, right? That's fine. Okay, we'll finish up tomorrow. I'm going to dump these in my bucket, and we'll come back tomorrow, and we'll get this stuff sorted out and finish up
The next day.
All right, it's the next day. I love these carburetors. These are the best. I have this carburetor on my Jacobsen home line, basically the same engine on it, and it's just, they're so infinitely adjustable and they're so durable and they just last. So let's put it together. So a couple of things. I got my tranny fluid mix, right, and everything basically looks good. Let's just grab a Q-tip. Just want to reach in there and I know I already cleaned it, but yeah, just to any of the debris that, you know, this is all acid and base, and see, that gasket's in there. So let's put our lube. And you can lube up everything if you want. Get it into the shafts that move, do their thing. Get it on all the threads. And this looks pretty good. Okay, so step one. All right, this came out really nice. We're gonna hang the float. Let's see how this fits. Yeah, it fits good. Good, so it's got a little, on this side here, it's just a little bit stiff, which is good. You kind of want that. All right, let's get our needle. That all looks great. And I like these old brass floats. Everything's just so durable. It's the end here. Okay, hold on. This end's got a little bit of something on it, but that's okay. It'll help it lock. Not that you really need it. It can't go anywhere because of the bowl. But we'll use it to our advantage. There you go. Just even it out a little bit. Can I even it out a little bit? There it goes. And let's get some in that thread. Now, this guy, right, which we've already cleaned and it's nice. Now that looks a little bit deformed. That can happen from people shoving screwdrivers and stuff in there. So we'll run it and see what happens, but let's put that in. And just snug it. I'm using more of my fingers than my hand, you know, in my palm. And then this one comes in from the top. It's your emulsion tube, right? And the threads are all pretty much lubricated, but that's all nice and clean. And the nice thing about this too is if you ever get junk in there, a lot of times you can just take these out and clean them and blow a little bit of, the ports are so big, you blow a little bit of, you know, gum out or something in it. Hold on. Why do we have a problem? Houston, we have an issue. What's something in the way? Yeah. It's this piece in here, which I don't know how you get that out. There's like a slider thing in there, and I don't know how you get that out. I think it's all pretty much held in place, so I'm going to put these in so that they line up at the same time. We'll put them in sort of together. Junk all over my hands already. I need a new rag. Once they're lined up, it shouldn't be a problem. You don't want to force anything, so okay. Now let's put this one in. Just make sure this goes in. All right, now we can tighten this one down. Okay, just snug it. Now we have this jet, which is this guy here. Okay, and that's idle. Should be your idle port. And they're knurled so that you can generally reach down in there or over there and make an adjustment while it's running. It's so infinitely adjustable. I'm just going to bottom it lightly, and we're going to do 1.5. All right, we'll do 1.5. Now this one goes in the bottom, and it's got threads in it. So now we need to put the bowl on, and if you want, you can check to see if this is seated. I have a tube here somewhere. Hold on. What I'll usually do is I'll just take a piece of old hose. I'll just slip it on there, and I'm going to blow into it. Now with it upside down, it should be sealed. Yep, here nothing. Now we'll turn it the other way. Okay. So it's sealing up. All right, and we're just going to also put a little bit of white grease, just a touch. We have the washer on it. You know, because it's aluminum, and you know it'll cause problems. You get like a electrolytic effect, like electrolysis, and it'll cause issues. It just brings up the rust, which is aluminum oxide. It's a form of rust. What size are you? 1/2 inch? Yeah, you're like 1/2 inch or something. What do they do with the wrenches? How does stuff get moved? Yeah, let's use this. Like, no. Oh, yeah, whatever. It's here. That's good. Doesn't have to be super tight. Now in this guy, we're going to put a little bit of white grease on it, right? Because it's going to slide in. It's got the gasket. So what we want is this spring, and then this. You always need to have this little brass washer, because that's what's applying pressure from the spring on this little O-ring or rubber seat, and it won't seal otherwise. Now, again, this is infinitely adjustable. We'll bring this one out 2 turns. Yeah, we'll do 1.5. Yeah, keep it modest. We're done. Let me go put this on. Isn't this thing nice? I love these carburetors. It's just like, this is when they made stuff, you know? Now forget it. Yeah, it's so disappointing as a mechanic that's been around. And I got to see, my age group got to see what it was like when Americans made stuff. You know, people that made these things, all right, think about that, right? They made these things, they bought cars and homes. And in the 50s, one person made this in the family, and the rest of the family, he could feed his family on this, making stuff like this, right? And they could have a simple car and a simple home. And what's the progress now, right? 2 people have to work and they still can barely afford it. Is that really for the same stuff? Really? Is it really any different? All right, let's put it on. All right, guys, carburetor is back on. The only thing I had to do was the spring, this little spring here, right? That helps reduce the modulations. The hook on the end was almost non-existent, so I just kind of made a better hook. I got a decent filter in. We got fuel in it. The oil is what we had in it. Choke is on. We got the electrical system that we proved out yesterday. It should just run, all right? And we should all be in neutral and everything. I've got it chocked, so let's see. We got the choke on. It should just start. I don't see any fuel leaking, all right? It's been sitting here for a few minutes. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm going to take a little choke off. Not yet. Hold on. All right, we'll take the choke off. I also cleaned the plug again, and I tightened down the head bolts a little bit. All right, choke off. Hey! Trying to run. I just made a few little adjustments by hand, right? Twist it with your finger. I have to get it to throttle. Good! What's up? Not too much. All right, turn it in a little. right, that's good enough, right? We don't, it's a little bit of adjustments. Mostly I was going in with everything, and I raised this little screw up a little bit too, give it a little bit of curb idle, and raise it up, brought it down a little bit. So it'll get more tuning. You got to let it run for a little while. You got to let the cylinder wall polish up a little bit, get the rings to seat a little bit better, and also the valves, they might have been stuck. So they'll bang on their seats for a little bit, knock anything out of the way, and they'll polish that up because there'll be some rust on the seats too. We don't know. But it's running really well, okay? I'm going to clean it, so I'm not going to put the tops on. I need to get 2 air filters, one for this machine and one for my machine. So I'm going to look into that tonight. They're foam. And the foam is destroyed, okay? It gets old and beat. So, Briggs filter, that's no good. I need one for this, and I need one. I had packed something in there. I think I had some foam laying around. I don't think I have any more left of that foam. So we want to get the correct Briggs stuff, and we'll order that soon. All right, guys, so the next thing we'll do is we're going to leave this be. We're done. This is a success. If you guys want to just, can it here, fine. If not, stick around because we're going to go through the rest of the machine. We got to do tires next. And I'd like to try out my new tire machine. So we'll be back in a little bit. This is a success, and I got to get the oil out of it, so I got to find the oil drain on it and deal with that, and we'll put some fresh oil in a little bit. Alright guys, thanks for watching the carburetor part of this video. I hope those of you that just were looking for a carburetor, some carburetor advice and some tweaks and what's inside one of these nice Briggs carbs. Hopefully you got something out of it. And for those of you that trying to stay tuned with this series on the 1988 Caldor, thanks for sticking with us and for coming back. And with the next part, we're gonna on the Caldor, we're gonna get a little bit deeper into the engine. It has some issues, and we need to fix them. I found a leak in the engine, and we have a bunch of other things to take care of before we can really make this thing sweet. So stay tuned for the part number 3 on the Caldor, and if you just want to find out some stuff about, one of these carburetors and these Briggs engines, but we still have some more work to do on the engine. So thanks for watching that, and hopefully, stick around and check out the 3rd part. So we'll see you later.